ओम शांति।
Om Shanti.
आज बहुत अच्छा एक विषय है
Today's topic is really good.
भोजन।
Pure food.
तो हमने इसके ऊपर अच्छी तरह सोचा।
So I turned
इसके अंदर
on this
चार
topic.
प्रकार है, चार प्रकार की बातें आती है।
There are four kinds of
भोजन
aspects in this topic.
बनाने के लिए जो हमने कमाई किया,
One is
वो कमाई
the money earned to prepare food. How much ever purity there is in that money earned to
दुख देकर
prepare food. Whether you have deceived someone to prepare that food, if you did some wrong actions to prepare that food, that has an effect on the food. So the first thing is how much pure that money is. If you go to buy 100 rupees things today, people take 200 rupees. In business, like you take your margin and to an extent you can increase till 150 rupees, but nowadays it's increased to 200 rupees. So this can't be pure food because it's made from deceived money. The second thing is purity while preparing food. So how can you prepare pure food while preparing food too? While you bring vegetables, in the current situation, you have to wash it thoroughly. After washing, you'll have to cut the vegetables and then wash it once again to prepare again. First you wash with hot water, then the second, when you go to the kitchen to prepare food, even in Madhuban I have seen, nobody was allowed to come to the kitchen without taking bath. You take bath and then prepare Baba's bhog without taking bath. Nobody was allowed to the kitchen in Madhuban. Even in Laukik, first you have to take bath and then go to the kitchen. So your body also is pure and the vessels in which you are preparing food should be clean. First, you have to wash the vessels and then put it on fire. So there should be cleanliness of the vessels too. Even in the current situation, it's much more important. If you allow the vessels to dry after cleaning, then you'll find the marks on the vessels in Madhuban. First, you take the vessels and then take the gram flour to clean the vessels. In the current time, everyone wear masks and cover the body too. More important than this, it takes 1 to 2 hours. You should also remain away from mobile while preparing food. You shouldn't take your call and then prepare food. While preparing food for almost 2 hours, do not take or receive call, because the news can be of different kind and the news from outside also influences the food and the purity of the food that's prepared. We have to prepare food in Baba's remembrance. First is to have a heart-to-heart conversation with Baba. Then you have to chant the knowledge points. Even if these two are not possible, the third thing that you have to try is minimum listen to good inspiring songs and listen to good classes or play murli. So your mind should have good thoughts while preparing food. Everyone's mind can't be the same. Everyone understands that you have to think good thoughts, but people are not able to. One great soul, they also remember past incidences. So in mind too, negative thoughts enter. It is said, how our mind is, that will be the nature of the food. In the Bhakti too, it said, in the path of devotion, people used to get scared of gurus because they might curse us. After listening to the knowledge, the one who brings benefits to others cannot curse others. Even today, Baba mentioned about this in Murli. If you are in body consciousness, then Brahman enters you if you're body conscious. If you're not body conscious, but you're soul conscious, and you remember Baba, you take inheritance from Baba. But now the question arises, Baba also has said the method. What is the method to remember Baba? You have to consider yourself to be the soul and then remember me. If you consider yourself to be a body and do even elevated task, it won't bring good effect. Even Vishwamitra sage did years of tapasya, but he couldn't win over his anger. Soul is an energy. It came from Parandham, land of peace, and it is a metaphysical energy. The food is made up of 5 elements of nature. The body is also made up of 5 elements of nature. So with food, the 5 elements of nature of the body is affected. Then, in the courses, nowadays, they do not talk about celibacy. The soul needs pure energy if you have to remember God. And the connection should be right. For a light to lamp, for a lamp to light, you need good oil. The brain and the soul, these are 2 things. Now I am talking from my voice. How did it reach you? Through the sound. If you remove the air, the vacuum won't be there. If the vacuum is removed or air is removed, you won't be able to listen to the sound. So the vibrations of the soul, how is the brain receiving? Inside the brain there is fluid. The energy made out of food is going to the brain. The soul is the power in the, if you eat sour things and put it in the body, it affects the fluid in the brain. In the media also nowadays, people take wrong advantage. If I am talking to you now and people are talking behind you, then you get disturbed. This is called the sound pollution. Now here it's the food pollution. If the food is pure and if the mind is also pure and creates good thoughts, it's said as the happiness it acts as a medicine. If you think wrong things and then eat the food, the body also creates negative kind of energy. The soul is giving pure vibration. So how is it passing to the body? Through the fluids of the brain. So with the food, it makes the fluid in the brain. The The link between the brain and the soul is the fluid. What is fluid? How is this fluid made of? This is the power of the soul. Food. Mind is metaphysical. In the world, there was knowledge that mind and nature, mind is considered as a part of nature. Baba clarified and said that mind, intellect and sanskar belongs to the soul. So it's not. So from the food, body is made or built. So in order to get good yoga, you need to have good thought. So this pure thought, through the brain, it reaches all parts of the body. There is soul. The soul is giving the message through the fluids to the brain. If there's a medium between me and you, the medium between the soul and the brain is the fluid. So there should be explanation. So where is the question arises? Where is the effect of the food that we eat? The food should be pure. So mind, soul is pure through knowledge and remembrance. That's why I said that physical and mental fitness, mind and sound body. Now the body is healthy. It's said that nowadays you don't have this immunity, but the soul has knowledge and remembrance. The soul can run this body. You need physical and mental fitness. You need knowledge and remembrance too. You listen to the Murli in the morning. Ask yourself, how long will you be able to remember this Murli point and learn about this topic, and how much you will be able to explain to others. Listening is not everything. After listening, you'll have to learn about this topic and engage and explain to others. Then there will be positive energy that will be developed inside the brain. You'll have to be detached observer and observe throughout the day for minimum 1 to 2 hours. Baba says that you should not waste your time and forget me even for a minute. Baba says that remember me always. Every single word he says. Baba says the condition too, that is you have to consider yourself to be soul and then remember me. Because vibrations of the soul reaches Baba. There's method for everything. The soul is light, and the vibration from the soul is also light. It reaches the Supreme Soul. You consider yourself to be the body, and if you try to remember Baba, there will be horizontal line. You won't be able to reach to the core. In the path of devotion too, a lot of scriptures have been there, read, and people used to read hymns and prayers, but you do not get any kind of attainment. Now is the time to move ahead the ladder. Now, where all are the purity required? If someone prepared the food, even in Madhuban, every doors and windows should be closed because nobody should look at the food that is prepared. If someone sees the food that you are preparing and someone's mouth gets watered, then it will affect the food, because now you are preparing food for the Supreme Soul, so nobody should see this because it should be pure. It's said that for Brahma Bhojan, even the deities have a desire to have the Brahma Bhojan. So while preparing food, there should be purity, and you should be responsible for the purity of the mind. In today's Murli, Baba said, you should take the responsibility. What responsibility? If someone did something wrong, I'll have to make it right. I should not do wrong by seeing others do wrong. Just follow, it's easy. Following is easy. Baba said in today's Murli, take this responsibility. My personality should be the one who does only right action. While preparing Brahma Bhojan for Baba, it's not the normal children that prepare food for Baba. Who are these children? These are the souls who become the deities. So every children of Baba who is under the sustenance of God, you feel that these are ordinary people. But when you ask them personally and how did they come in the knowledge, they have crossed lot of hurdles. We don't know. We thought that they are ordinary. But when they ask about their past life, they made a lot of effort to move forward in this path. That's why Baba is sustaining them. Baba said that Baba is serving children in three ways. One is Baba is teaching. Second is Baba is giving sustenance by feeding. Here, God, Father himself feeds children. In Mumbai, they were crorepati or multimillionaires, and morning they would prepare food and then the children would return back home at 2 p.m. Who will prepare the food for the children? Only a toast and little bit of fruits are given, and children come back home at 2 p.m. So everyone's practical life is different. Baba gives sustenance to children every aspect. Yesterday Baba said, Baba also decorates children. That's the third point that Baba said. Baba said, don't do this, don't do that, don't do such action, do this action. Baba explains everything to children because we all know the consequences of the action. If we insult the children of Baba, if I get the thought and I explain, what did I think? My mind become polluted if I think wrong about others. If we just listen to others, we should not churn about this, nor talk to others about what you have heard, because you are knowledgeful souls and you have the understanding, because the karmic accounts are very subtle. Why should we be instrument in telling to others? This is the declaration that Baba gives. Baba says that listen to this, don't listen to that. Everyone have their own karmic accounts. Everyone won't be the same. Baba said, I am sustaining children in three ways. Supreme Soul himself. In the world it said that if you have God himself with you, no storm will affect you. Baba here is feeding us while keeping us in his lap. Baba says that you are the jewels in Baba's eyes. Baba keeps you children in his eyes, and Baba gives wonderful sustenance to every children. Similarly, we children too, I say in Madhuban, I've seen that Judge Shekhar Bhai, he doesn't talk much, but in the remembrances of Baba, they make the food. So the team of Judge Shekhar, and there are 20,000 people who come to Shantivan, but there is no tiredness in them to feed all the souls, so they should have selfless service kind of attitude. Everyone has this feeling that in Madhuban, teachers come here, that I just want to have one time food in Madhuban. It's Baba's bhog, because little bit of bhog of Madhuban is of high value, because this is Brahma Bhojan. There's so much value to the Brahma Bhojan, because it's the effect of the food. So after having the food, you should not waste even a grain of rice. because this is donated to Baba. Even if you eat some food and then if you waste the little bit of food, that won't be doing good to you, because this is the offering to Baba and you have rejected the offering. In the path of devotion too, people stay in queue for long to have little bit of prasad. Baba is feeding you children now in the form of prince and princesses, and through that your body and your mind is also influenced. Baba says, Ulta Dadi says that even while drinking water, you should remember Baba. When you remember Baba and have food and drink water, then even a drop of grain should not fall here and there. Nobody asks you, but your own karmic account is created because people have offered this in difficult ways to Baba, and you will have to face the consequences, and I will have to return it, and it will come from my account, otherwise I will be burdened. While giving, others gave to Baba, but I have taken the food from Baba, so I will have to pay the consequence if I wasted it. So if you waste or misuse anything, there will be burden on you. That's why the thing that is offered in the name of God, this is Baba's offering. Lot of difficulty is behind making the food. Lot of effort goes into preparing the food. That's why there's a lot of value to the food. But while preparing food, you should not talk to others. You should save yourself and the one who prepares food. Your mind and intellect should be very sharp and peaceful, and call Baba and remember Baba, and call Baba and say that I'm preparing it for you, and you taste and see how it is. Everyone's remembrance will be different. If it's not possible, then try to turn the points of knowledge, and do not use mobile while preparing food. Keep the mobile away for 2 hours. In that pure environment, if you prepare the food, then this food will be of great value. This is offered to Baba even in Pandavavan and Shantivan. Everyone prepares the food with the attitude that we are preparing it for Baba. Even at home too, you should have this attitude. The group of Rajshekar Bhai in Shantivan says that the food of Madhuban is great because this is prepared through the remembrance and yogic power. So we asked Suresh Bhai, what did you do in Bhog today? What was done extra? And they say that this is the normal food. This is the remembrance that is having an effect on the food. Our nature and attitude also has an impact, and it also gives return to us. And the one who eats also gives so much of blessing while preparing the food that today this food was wonderful, and children also become happy. My children are also Yog, and you should not waste even little bit of Brahma Bhojan. If you eat something and waste others, it's not good. This is given an offer to Baba. We have come to give it to Baba. If I misuse that, I have come here to earn, then there will be a lot of burden on me, and I'll have to give it back. So that there should be purity in the mind, That's why people pray before having food, and then we feed Baba. In the world too, people are really hungry, and Baba is feeding us 3 times. And it's not normal food. That's why Baba says that I am feeding the prince and princesses. Feeding by human is different, but feeding the Supreme Soul is totally different. You should understand, if you get some prasad or offering from the temple, you pray it with due respect and then eat it. Even in the part of devotion, there's a lot of feelings towards offering, but here you have understanding. Should be purity of the food, how is it effective on the body. And everyone knows that by eating this, what will happen to my body. By having that, what will happen to me and my body. Papa said to Jagdish Bhai, everything is wrong, but everything is right, but you did not pay attention to your body. You have every kind of knowledge that if I eat this, then what will happen to my body. You know what is happening inside the body when you eat particular kind of food. You should have this understanding that I the soul and this is my body. If you own the car and if you hear wrong noises from the car, you understand that something is wrong. So here too, you should have healthy body. This knowledge you should have, how much you should eat and what to eat and in what method to eat. First one is, while preparing food, what should you do? While eating, what should you do? And after having food, how is it affecting the body? That's why it said, there are many more points too. One who is pure is yogi. So for yoga, why is purity important? Listening to knowledge is important, right? Why is purity important? Purity is also important. It said that if you light this lamp gets light if the oil is pure while having food throughout the day and then eating you eat in the night and then sleep. This energy you will have to burn in the yoga. A physical energy you should burn in yoga. You won't be able to control the physical senses. Why is Amritveda important? Because the food that's prepared is pure. Why is brahmacharya celibacy important? In order to have concentration. Everything has explanation, it's scientific. This is pure spirituality, spiritual science. That's why people have faith in science, because science opens up everything. Why, what, and when, and how. You should not forcefully do this. There's no pressure. That's why I said that spirituality is not by force, it's by will. You should understand the importance of pure food. In the world, there are chemicals everywhere. First you should wash properly, then after cutting to you should wash nowadays because of virus. You should be careful. Everything should be clean properly because in the current time we should take care of the body as well as the subtle mind too. Om Shanti.
संकल्पों के दीप जलाएं अपने अपने मन में शुभ संकल्पों के दीप जलाएं अपने अपने मन में, जग उजियारा होगा प्रेम से, सुख ही सुख कण कण में, शुभ संकल्पों के दीप जलाएं। परिवर्तन की है ये बेला, ये जग बदलने वाला, राजयोग का मार्ग यही है, सहज सरल निराला, दिव्यता की बन जाए